JDev is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 10 episode reaction video. Before I get to that, though, it's extremely important if you're not caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching The Walking Dead that you take the initiative and pay attention to the episode title, which, of course, I'll put in the description for you. If that's the case, you find out that you're not caught up, I would suggest, and I'm sure everyone else would too, that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This is going to be The Walking Dead Season 10, episode number 17. Title of this episode is going to be Home Sweet Home. It's going to be my reaction, review, recap of the episode, and this is a bonus episode of Season 10 that they gave us because of the pandemic. Starts off with Maggie, and she kills a zombified Whisperer and talks with Judith. And then on this path to where everybody kind of met up after the tower, you see Navila and Lydia leave with a carriage, and then she sees Negan. And Negan's like, "Hey, Maggie, I didn't escape if that's what you think." Explaining in his own words that he was released, essentially. And then Maggie just glares at him, doesn't say anything to him, and walks away. And then Maggie later learns that the hilltop was destroyed by the Whisperers. Carol reveals to Maggie that she released Negan and that he infiltrated the Whisperers, accompanied them in the attack on the hilltop, and finally murdered Alpha after gaining her trust. Carol returns to Alexandria with Maggie, Daryl, Kelly, and two of Maggie's people, Elijah and Cole. And then they head off to find the rest of Maggie's group at the rendezvous point. With nightfall quickly approaching, Maggie's group finds shelter in a shipping yard. And then Maggie talks with Daryl and reveals her son asked about the man who murdered his father. And she tells Daryl she can't live with Negan. The next day, Maggie approaches Kelly for having left her post. But Daryl explains that she is looking for her sister. And then upon arriving at the rendezvous point, they find the camp has been burned down. Cole tells Daryl about the Reapers, a group that destroyed their former home before beginning their search for Maggie's son, Herschel Jr. Maggie reunites with three members of her group, but they all three are swiftly killed by a Reaper using a silenced weapon. Daryl and Maggie catch up to and fight with the Reaper. Maggie is temporarily caught in a trap, but is rescued by Daryl. Kelly wounds the Reaper with Daryl's crossbow, but the Reaper blows himself up with a grenade before Maggie can interrogate him and get any answers from him. And then soon after, Maggie finds Herschel Jr. and bonds with Kelly about their sisters. With nowhere else to go, the group heads to Alexandria, where Carol, Negan, and several others are rebuilding the walls that were previously destroyed by the Whisper. So it was a fun, touching moment. Maggie's looking for Herschel, and all of a sudden something flies down at her, and Herschel's throwing things at her from the tree. And obviously he looks just like Glenn, and I think he's actually wearing Glenn's hat. I could be wrong, but it might actually be Glenn's hat. And then they get back to Alexandria, and Negan is just kind of looking at Maggie and Herschel as they walk in like, oh boy, not her, anybody but her. So I really like this episode. I wasn't expecting much because they were bonus episodes, but this was definitely one of the better ones that they gave us. As far as a score of this episode, I mean, I love the fact that Maggie's back, and that episode was really focused around Maggie, and it was touching that she made up with Daryl. I'm going to give the episode a 9.0 out of 10. Pretty good, pretty intense, and a lot more action than I actually expected. It didn't really seem like it was an episode filmed during a pandemic, at least from what I saw. Maybe I didn't notice it, but character of the episode is going to be Maggie, hands down. She was definitely a focal point in this episode. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this series and you are really looking forward to Season 11 of The Walking Dead, the final season of The Walking Dead show, go ahead and smash that like button. Anybody you know that would be interested in this, make sure you share the video with them. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section about your thoughts, your overall score, or we can just talk about anything Walking Dead related. Any season you want to talk about, any episode you want to talk about, any new stuff Walking Dead related, leave that in the comment section. Of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.